Hi beautiful people, in this video I'll be showing you how to make this three-tiered maxi dress. This dress, when made in a particular size, can actually work for a wide range of sizes. This is the fourth video in our Style My Bum series, so you can see that it can double up as a regular outfit and it also works well as a maternity outfit. I also have a little trick here to help the breastfeeding mom. You're welcome to Kemafric. My name is Kemi Omorugbe. This outfit can be made directly on the dress using freehand techniques without the use of patterns, but as you know, we like clarity here, so that's the reason why I'm drafting a pattern up to my half length. So right here on my paper, I marked the bust point at 11 inches and the half length at about 17 inches. I'll go ahead now to draw out my bust line and the waist line. I'm just doing this so that I can create the armhole and you also understand this tutorial better. Now, as usual, go ahead and drop the shoulder by 1 inch and mark out the neckline. You don't need a neckline for this, but like I said, it's for teaching purpose, right? As usual, I'm slanting the shoulder line like so and creating the armhole line slash chest line. Okay, if you have watched any of our tutorials, this should make complete sense to you. I don't have to go over it all over again. So right here, I'm drawing out my armhole line and the chest line like so. And on the chest line, I marked the width of the bust circumference. I also marked the width of the waist circumference. That's waist circumference divided by 4. Okay, and here I'm joining those 2 points together. Now we need to create our armhole, and before doing that you need to mark the upper chest line. It just depends on how comfortable you are with an open chest, but for me I marked 6.5 inches above, so I drew out the upper chest line right there. And now I'm going to create the armhole curve by connecting a dot from the side of the chest line to the upper chest line. Now this is all you need. I'm going to cut out this pattern, and before you dispose of that upper part, you need to mark the width of the sleeve or strap that you're using. If it's just a simple half an inch strap, all you need to do is take the measurement. But for this one, because my strap is a bit wide, okay, so I am marking about 2 inches on the shoulder, and I'll just draw my strap right down, so that way I have created a pattern for the strap of this dress. It is necessary for you to label the shoulder and the upper chest part of it so that you don't mix it up, and also note the measurement from the center front to the first side of the sleeve. So I took my tape and I measured and noted. I think mine was 4 inches. Now go ahead and put your fabric on fold. Like I mentioned, this is a 3-tiered dress, right? So you need your fabric to be folded into 2 for the first tier. Now the first tier is from the top of this dress to around the knee line, so you go ahead and take that measurement. That's the length of the fabric you should put on fold. Now before going ahead to cut out this pattern, leave about 5 inches from the center front to the part where you place your pattern. Okay, then go ahead to cut. So the reason why I needed this pattern was simply just to create the armhole and to get like the right placement for my upper chest line and all that. So I went ahead and cut this out. This was about 40 inches long. Like I mentioned, we have 5 inches from the center front to the start of that pattern. This will help us achieve some pleats since we are going to share this dress. Okay, I didn't even mention that this is a shared dress. So yeah, that's done. I went ahead now to cut out another length of fabric. So this particular one was about 18 inches long, thereabout. but go ahead and take your measurement from the knee to where you want the second tier to end. There are no hard and fast rule with this. It just depends on how you want to layer the pieces together. As for the width of this part, it should be at least times 2 of the width of the first one. Okay, so go ahead, take the measurement of the width of the first tier and multiply by 2. This is necessary because you are going to use the second tier to create pleats on the first tier. So the same thing goes for the last tier. You can see that tiny strip I just finished cutting. That is the third tier of this dress, and as for that one, make sure it is at least times 2 of that, of the width of the second tier. I hope you get this. Next, go ahead and place the pattern for your strap on your fabric on fold. So you need to cut out 4 pieces of this on fold, 2 for each side of the strap. I've cut out this wide fabric. I cut out 6 inches, then put it on fold, and the length about 20 inches thereabout, depends on the length of the belt you want to create for the arm. Okay, so right here I have all my fabrics ready to be sewn, but before I start sewing, I need to mark out the half length on this dress because I intend to pleat from the top up to the half length. So remember that we took out 6.5 inches, right? So I'm just here marking out the length of the shirring I want to do, not pleats, please, shirring. So I marked 17 inches and drew a straight line just to guide my pleat. I know exactly, I keep calling this pleat, I know exactly where to stop shirring this fabric. I marked on the other side of this as well, and also on the back piece. Now, if you don't know what shirring is, this is it right here. Some people call it smocking in this part of the world. Yes, that is what I mean by shirring. Okay, so to achieve this type of shirring, you need an elastic thread and a regular thread. You're going to hand drill the elastic thread on a bobbin like so, as you do it manually. Then you also need to loosen the bobbin case a little bit so that it eases the tension on the elastic thread. Then you fix your bobbin and the bobbin case as usual on your sewing machine and get to work. I like to do this on my manual sewing machine, but the industrial sewing machine also works perfectly for this purpose. Once I was done shirring, I went ahead to join the front and back piece together along the side by my 1-inch side seam allowance. I also went ahead to overlock the side seam just so it looks neat like so. Now it is time to pleat the second layer on this dress. So I just picked it and created little pleats all round, and I did it in such a way that the seam joining the 2 sides of this piece together aligns with the center back, not the side, so there are no seams on the side. So here's our strap. I have sewn the 2 sides together. I interfaced the both of them to give it some structure, and I will be placing the straps on the dress. So once again, remember that we measured from the center front to the position of the strap. That is what will guide me in knowing where to place my strap on this shirred dress. So I just put the front on fold like this. I tried not to drag it too much. Then I took the measurement 4 inches from the center front and I marked it out, and that marked the beginning of my strap. I did the same thing at the back, but hold on, I have a little trick off my sleeve for breastfeeding mom. Remember I mentioned versatility when we're talking about what the things you need to look out for in a maternity dress. So it was important that this remains functional even outside after maternity. Okay, that's breastfeeding phase and all of that. So before we move on to that, I attach the belt I created, not really belt, just some strips, okay, I can call them belts, which I attached to the armhole of this dress, I have 4 pieces of this, and I sew it onto the armhole for the front and for the back. That's 2 for the front, 2 at the back. So I also went ahead to finish up the armhole. You can make use of a bias strip for that, or you make a piping to cover up the rough seams right there. So having done that, we have our dress almost finished actually. So at this stage, if you are not going to use it as for your as a breastfeeding outfit or anything, you may not need to do the last step. But what I did was I didn't sew the back part of the strap onto the back. Instead, I used the velcro to attach it onto the back, so that for those that want to make use of these outfits for breastfeeding purpose, they can easily open it up like so at the back, and they can also have someone, you know, put it back for them once they are done. So I just felt this makes it more versatile, you know. Yeah, so with this we have come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Once again, thanks for joining us. See you in the next video. Bye bye.